Alright, here we go, peeps. So, I just sit and watch and try to figure things out. Nobody worth mentioning. Loved and cherished by a handful of people. Like most Americans. I don't have a huge platform. I don't have a major sphere of influence. I'm nobody spectacular. Just your average American. Your average American. Your average wife. Your average mom. Your average worker. Average IQ. I believe in, some pretty simple things. I believe in taking care of your family, serving God honorably, looking out for your neighbor, showing up to work, working hard, having a level of work ethic, doing right, being a person of justice. These very basic principles, right? And to witness what I've witnessed over the past, few weeks, this connected web of deceit and lies, this connected level of despair, ultimately. I just have a lot of questions, So we have a lot of subcategories that are connected. So, like, if you're a Trump supporter, then you're most likely a gun advocate. You're against vaccine mandates. Not necessarily against the vaccine, just against the mandates, against the masks, against the closing of our economy, against shutdowns, against, the woke agendas of the world, right? If you are a healthcare worker, you can be subcategorized into being 100% for the mandates and for the vaccine, following the science, and then going back to not being vaccinated or about the vaccine mandates or the masks. So it gets very, confusing, wait a minute, you're this person, so you're just assumed to be in this, and if you, pick one category, you can go up or down, reverse it or follow it down, and it's all connected like a web. It's very interesting to me to think of how divided we are into all these little categories and how parroted our responses are to the categories. So, if you are for the vaccine, then it's follow the science. You don't care about other people. You are, for this disease progressing. You are blah, blah, blah. If you're against it, then you're conservative, you're this, you're that. And we just parrot it. And even conservatives, even people that are in alignment with my perception of the world, it's just a lot of just regurgitated. And I know, I'm a part of that group. Don't misunderstand my intent here. But what I'm saying is that this is so surfacey, guys. And I'm not saying you have to go get your PhD in, in whatever, stay informed, stay on top of things. But literally, the best way that I can explain it is we're arguing for things to stay the same or to go back to the way things were. We're arguing from that premise as, different groups of people. Fundamentally, we are so far away from where we started almost 2 years ago. We are so far away, and if we don't acknowledge that, if we do not literally draw the conclusion that we are not like, this is not the line and the deviations here. We are like here. We are so far away from where we started from that we have to take dramatic and aggressive action to get even close to where freedom and rights and all of these things are. Anybody that, hangs out with me for a few minutes knows that I have like my Kelly-isms. I literally get made fun of for this. And one of my Kelly-isms is keep it in the center, right? Stay in the center of the road. That's where the safest place is, If you go to either extreme, you will end up looking like the other side that you're opposing. And we have gone so far from center that we are literally on the verge of something that is so far beyond our comprehension. And we're talking about it. We're talking about, New World Order, we the people, like we're grasping for this in our intellect, but we have not solidified what that will look like concretely. We know intuitively, we know collectively that something major is on the horizon, but we have no clue on how we are to respond to that. And my suggestion, my point in even bringing this up and bringing this to the conversation is we have to start looking at what this will look like. So I applaud every single person who has protested. I applaud every single person who has written members of their government leadership at every level to oppose and to go against, what they're trying to accomplish here. But my suggestion is, what's the next step? Okay. If you read back through the literal Declaration of Independence, which I do every single year and more often time to time, just because I value that document, there is a list of injuries that were written out to the British Crown in the Declaration of Independence. And they tried every single step to create the center again, right? The taxation, the quartering of troops, the seizing of goods, like the unlawful arrests and trials that were done in secret, like all of these things that inflamed the people, that this wasn't like everything was going hunky-dory and then all of a sudden Great Britain just decided to do some wonky stuff. No, there was tyrannical living for a period of time prior to the revolution, and they were pushing back. They were doing it legitimately. They were protesting. They were soliciting, a discussion. They were trying to appease the overarching sector of their government, and they were ignored, and they were put off. They were pretty much mocked, and the absurtions and the disrespect still came. And so there was another course that they had to take. And the hardest part about the Declaration of Independence was not literally leveling war. It was getting everybody on the same page that was the only way. It was getting everybody, because everybody was pissed off. Everybody knew shit wasn't right. But it was getting everybody on the page where it's like, no, we've done this. Well, let's just write another letter. Let's just do another protest. Let's just, do this one thing. At the end, it was like, we've done that. And there's nothing changing, right? So what are we going to do? We have to look at next steps. How are we going to organize ourselves as human beings? What are we going to do? Because if we are left to react to this, we are on the defensive. We have to change our strategy to be offensive. We have to be on the offense. Now, there are greater minds than mine that are in this universe. I am appealing to you. If you are someone that is good at organizational management, if you are somebody who is good at organizing people and ideas and structure like you would a corporation, people that understand the interconnected nature of relationships, of people who understand how to evaluate next steps, people who are strategic, people who are intuitive, who have the ability to abstractly think ahead and put things into a concrete form. There needs to be a collective going on so that we can start making tactical moves as organized, intelligent people that we are as a group. And this is not something that we have to be in agreement on every dot and tittle. This is something that we have to literally have the most basic principles, sorted out. And I leave you with this. In the Declaration of Independence, after, the grand list of all the injuries that were done, it was concluded that they were no longer going to submit to this government. So in parallel to this circumstance, this is what I urge the American people, okay? We do not have to comply. Compliance or trying to negotiate on terms, as well intended as it is, will not get accomplished what we want to get accomplished. I'm going to say that again. What we're trying to do right now, by going to a school board and saying, I'm not going to put, I don't want masks or whatever, it's important because you're voicing your displeasure, but they're not going to be like, oh, okay. No, you have to be willing to remove your child from public school and homeschool. You as a nurse, my healthcare workers out there, you have to be willing to quit your job. The cost of freedom is great, guys. It's great. And if we don't get this right now, we will regret and we will lament not willing to suffer while it was sufferable. I would rather suffer under my own decisions and be uncomfortable and make some adjustments in my lifestyle and my expectations of pleasure than to try to align with an ideology that is fundamentally not there for my good, who has proven time and again to actually be against my well-being. So I urge you all to take an account of what next steps you are going to do. What next steps are you willing to do? And what people are you willing to network with so that you can support your family for what is coming? If they don't do what we ask in the gentleman's agreement and discussion of things, what's our next step? What's our counter move? Okay? Now, there's a lot of people, and I get it, guys. I'm not criticizing. Understand this. I am not criticizing. I'm pointing out some things because I know people are frustrated and I know people are wanting something to be changed. And we've got the movers and the shakers in every group. We got the intellects. We got the brass. We got, the strength. We got the warrior people. We got the people that are good at, getting things done and moving stuff down the line. I get that. Dynamically, I get that. That's what runs our world. And everybody's perspective is very valuable. We're united under our freedoms, but everybody has a different way to approach that. Having said that, I want everyone to be very careful about advertising what you're willing to do. In the sense of flying the black flag, telling people what kind of supplies you have on hand. I think it's very important. Loose lips sink ships, okay? It's very important that there is true strategy that is taking place, that is being evaluated and accounted for. Loose lips sink ships, okay? I understand the black flag, man. I got one bought and it's folded in my closet, but it's not time for that yet. That's after shots are fired. That's after shit hits the fan and we're in a real battle where things are really happening, not just in the ideology realm, but in the physical realm, to let people know there's no pardon of injury here. There is no easing up on what is about to go down. Okay? Understand that. This, you wanna show people where you're at, fly your flag upside down, okay? That shows that there's distress. We are in a phase of absolute distress in our nation, okay? Now I'm gonna touch on a second thing too. What happened in Afghanistan is despicable. And your heart, your gut tells you something's really wrong, even if you don't know all the details, okay? But there's some telling things that have happened that show you where we're at, okay? What is that? Number one, no one's talking about it. Nobody is bringing this forward and discussing it in the platforms of our world that discuss politics and things of that nature. Okay, our president isn't discussing it. Our leadership isn't discussing it. Nobody's discussing what's going on, number one. Number two, the one leader in our military's leadership that had the righteous indignation to call out for accountability of this situation, which is inbred into any person who is in the military, okay, is to be accountable and to have extreme ownership over what occurs on our watch, was removed and relieved of duty. That tells you the heart and the spirit that is at play here, ladies and gentlemen. And when those things start happening, there should be little things happening in your mind that let you know where you're at and what time it is. Now, two of these boys are from the county that I live in. In my Semper Fi, my flag is flying high for these boys, and my prayers are with these families who have to bury their children. I weep. But this is the thing. And I say this not to be a negative Nancy, not to downplay the loss that has occurred, but this is the first strike, but it is not the last. More chaos is coming in the Middle East. And I fear, and I don't know for certain, okay, but I fear, based off of the relationships that we have over there, and if you go back years at the political plays that have happened strategically in this region, the current administration that we have in our government, I fear that what happened this last week will look like child's play compared to what is on our horizon, folks. So be enraged, absolutely. Be upset, absolutely. I am both. But it's an insight to let you know what is absolutely coming. More will come with this. And in my mind, I have my moments of grieving. I have my moments of being upset and saddened. I have my moments of even complete. I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe this is happening, right? Like, I just can't believe it. But then I go to the next step, like, then what? What's the next step? Because there's always a next step, right? We have to think ahead. We have to look down the road at this. And when I see that, when I see, like, if we think this is bad, this is just the beginning. So I ask each of you to resist every form of control, of tyrannical control over your lives. I don't care if it's walking into a business that's requiring you to wear a mask. Do not wear a mask. If you are a high-risk individual, find somebody else to buy your goods. Just symbolically, stand in solidarity, okay? If you go to a store and you're not able to obtain ingress or regress without a mask on, and to engage in a level of commerce where you can get goods for yourself, I want you to turn back around. I want you to get on every social platform that you have. I don't care if you only have 100 people. And I want you to ask like-minded individuals to call that store. You take a picture of it, you post it to your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your Twitter account, and you put that on blast, and you put the number of the business there, and you ask people to call and demand that they remove their mask mandates. Okay? And if we keep doing this and we keep supporting each other, if I see a post like that online, I will call. If I see things like this happening, I will call. Okay? If somebody, you protest, we currently have a law that's up right for grabs right here in California. It's AB something or other. I can't keep track of all the damn numbers, but in essence, it's requesting passports to engage in constitutional freedoms, guys. And I'm not going to go into all this. You can listen to 100 other people on different platforms, way more intelligent than I am, explain things away or whatever. But I'm a simpleton, okay? Sum it up. What it means is that I cannot engage in commerce. I cannot be a part of the quote-unquote world system unless I have a passport. I don't care if you're vaccinated, okay? Some people have chosen to be vaccinated. That is a personal choice. I respect that. But stand in solidarity if you are a vaccinated individual, okay? And if somebody is asking for a passport or any kind of proof or identification prior to entrance, you turn and you walk away. And you report that business and you put them on blast on your social media and you ask people to stand in solidarity with you and complain against it. Okay? Even if you're vaccinated. Because right now, you could be looking at it from the perspective of, well, I can get in, I'm vaccinated, I'm cool. Yeah. For a moment. They're going to come for you too. You just have a longer shelf life. Okay? In the meanwhile, start talking to your neighbors. Start networking with folks. Start talking to people at your church, at your work. Find like-minded individuals. Start assessing people's skills. Okay? Everybody has talents, God-given talents that they offer this world. Start networking with these people and start figuring out how you can come together as a community to survive if necessary. And I'm being serious, guys. You may think I am crazier than shit, but I'm telling you the truth. You need to think ahead and think, wow, this person's really good at making stuff. And I'm really good at cooking stuff. So there's a bartering relationship there, okay? This person's skilled at building stuff. This person's skilled at fixing stuff. That's a good relationship to have, right? Everybody has their tradesmen in their circle of friends. Everybody has their business guys. Guess what, business guys? We need you to start sharpening the pencil and figuring out how much food do people need to have to live for a year? How much time does it take, to get an online store up and running? You got your computer guys. Let's figure out ways to safeguard information and transmit information between each other. There's a lot of different technical and physical and intellectual aspects to surviving. This is not the time to beat your chest and to think that because you figured this out 3 years ago or you have your plan that you're going to just fuck everybody else. No. This is the true commandment from God himself that says, love thy neighbor as thyself. To love thy neighbor is to look after the well-being when it's costful to you, not out of your abundance, but out of your need. Okay? The faith of many will be tested. And I'm telling you that we are going to have major adjustments in our lifestyles in order to have freedom and in order to survive. And if you're one of those people that wants all of the freedoms of this life, but doesn't want to invest or sacrifice anything in order to obtain it, you're not going to last long in this situation. If you're the type of person who wants their cake and eat it too, you're not going to last long in this situation. You may think so. You may have this plan inside your head that you've been, mulling over the last couple of years. I guarantee you that when the shit really does hit the fan and the discomfort truly comes, you will fold. Okay? I look around at this last year in my profession, in my experience, and there is a weariness that is attached to this moment in time. People are weary. People are worn down. People are mentally fragile. People lack true health, vibrancy, strength of body. I'm not talking about having a good figure. I'm talking about being strong. I'm talking about being mentally strong. I'm talking about having a level of resilience and steadfastness, of having the faculties of your mind correctly aligned so that you can discern good from evil. I'm talking about having strength of spirit. I'm talking about having love of country and love of your neighbor in the truest sense. Not love that's convenient, not love that's about what you can get from it, but love in the sense of, I will die for you. I will go out of my way to ensure you're well. We need to get out of the bitching mode and we need to get into the doing mode. Guys, this is my public service announcement for whoever wants to hear. Maybe this message will not resonate with you, maybe it will. But at the end of the day, my plea to you is stop bitching about things. I get it. I bitch too. It's my first step in my process of processing information. I can't believe this is happening. This is bullshit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I get it. But we have been told, we have been given valuable information that what we are asking will not be granted. Just like in the days of the revolution. We have given time. We have given our opinions. We have asked politely. We have sat at the table. They are not listening, guys. And we have to take that information, acknowledge the truth of the matter, okay? Acknowledge it for what it is, to acknowledge reality for what reality is showing you. And we have to make decisions based off of that answer. And it may not be an answer you like. I know it's an answer I don't like. It may not be a reality you want to live through. I don't want to live through this reality. Now, there's some people out there that have been like waiting for the zombie apocalypse that think like they're like, woohoo, they're all lit up. Good for you. Good for you. We're going to need that enthusiasm in the group. I'm not happy about this. But wishing it to be different than what it is will not change what it is. Wishing for things to have a different outcome or people to give a shit will not make them give you a different outcome or give a shit. That is what the acknowledgement of reality is. That is what mental wellness is acknowledging reality for what reality is revealing to you. So make no mistake about it, guys. Don't get ahead of it. Don't go, don't put the cart in front of the horse. I know there's some of you peeps out there. I get it, man. You're my true blue, red, white, and blue patriots. I love you. Okay, I'm not criticizing. Don't hear my heart. My fellow countrymen and women, hear my heart. Strategy is doing the right thing at its right time. We have to be strategic. This will not end well. If we do not take a stand now, this will not end well for our sons and daughters. Of that I am sure. And I wish and I pray that I never had to see this day. And I pray that the Lord Almighty would have mercy on our souls. But we have to be prepared even into martyrdom to do what is right. Do not lose heart. Do not grow weary in well-doing, my brothers and sisters, for we are born for such a time as this.